Breaking news tonight, a car crashed into Murphy's Irish Pub at the Virginia Beach oceanfront, injuring multiple people. Witnesses say the car crashed through the restaurant's patio on 30th Street and Pacific Avenue. This all happening as police were preparing for a curfew to go into effect. Federal officials raided the office of Virginia Senator Louise Lucas and her business next door. Sources telling ABC News the probe dates back to the Biden administration and involves allegations of corruption and bribery. In Hampton, a 14-year-old girl and a 1-year-old baby are in serious condition after a drunk driving crash on I-64. Virginia State Police say it happened Monday morning as the 14-year-old was behind the wheel of the car, driving drunk on the interstate with a baby in the car. The Nolan Wells case has grabbed headlines across the country. The 18-year-old from Mississippi who went missing during a July 4th boating trip with friends. His body was found on July 6th. Days later, you were just listening to attorney Ben Crump. We had Reverend Al Sharpton at the NABJ conference. That's the National Association of Black Journalists. Nolan Wells' parents also spoke. His mother, very emotional. She told reporters the only thing she wants to know is what happened to her son. Tim has been tracking this for us. We've seen this rain coming down. We've seen a lot of flooding in areas. And again, we are used to this to an extent. We live in a coastal community. We know that when it rains, it can be significant. We know those areas where it typically floods. We're also seeing some areas where maybe it hasn't flooded like this before. Eric Claville and Professor Dr. Leslie Coggle. So let's talk about this lieutenant governor's race. It is crowded. 6 candidates, 3 are really standing out right now. We've got Rouse, Hashmi, and Stoney. Welcome back. It's your voice, your vote. Joining us now is Virginia Wesleyan University Chair of Political Science, Dr. Leslie Coggle, giving us some more insight on this election. We always appreciate you coming here and really putting things into perspective for us. So the big story of the night so far, Abigail Spanberger, we are calling this election for her right now over Winsome Earl Sears. You mentioned earlier the polls were showing us that we should expect this. A very special guest. I'm here with Dashina Hinton. She is a volunteer and special events coordinator for the Salvation Army. She does a lot of great work. So we're out here at the Christmas Depot for the Salvation Army Angel Tree Program. This makes sure that every child across Hampton Roads has a gift to open on Christmas morning. Let's talk a bit about the volunteers because you guys are the heartbeat. I'm joined by the Salvation Army's Major Chris Flanagan here at the Christmas Depot. And as I mentioned earlier, this program is so critical. It's so important because for many of these kids, the gifts that they receive through the Angel Tree Program, this may be the only gifts they get to open on Christmas morning. And it's all thanks to donors, yeah?
That's correct.
From iceberg lettuce to jalapenos, blueberries, bacon, and eggs. A lot of headlines lately over food recalls. And some of us may be feeling what's known as recall fatigue. Here's what you need to know if you have a flight booked on Spirit Airlines. The end could be near for the low-cost carrier. Early voting is underway right now on whether to redraw Virginia's congressional district maps. Tonight, Republicans came together in York County for a rally to, quote, stop the gerrymander. The singer known as David is facing murder and other charges, accused of killing a teenage girl who was found dead in the trunk of his car. He entered a plea on Monday. The Supreme Court made what many are calling a historic decision, striking down congressional maps in Louisiana, citing unconstitutional racial gerrymandering. Tonight, the NAACP is weighing in, saying it will especially affect southern states where larger populations of minorities live. That severe storm damage in Indiana that happened yesterday into today, the governor speaking there about widespread destruction, fatalities, infrastructure outages, a lot of power outages. At least 2 tornadoes touched down in that state. They're saying wind gusts exceeded 100 miles per hour in some places. We're now going to turn to a topic that a lot of people have been talking about lately, these food recalls, whether it's the iceberg lettuce. We had an issue with jalapenos. So right now we're joined by an expert. We have Kelsey Holloman. She is the Foodborne Disease Epidemiology Program Manager from the Virginia Department of Health. Kelsey, thank you so much for joining us. It's such a pleasure to have you. A big story breaking today, happening now. Luigi Mangione pleading guilty in federal court to stalking charges. You might remember the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Luigi Mangione now admitting to that. He's facing a maximum sentence of life in prison. His federal sentencing is scheduled for December. 13 News Now at 11 begins with an update on a story we've been following for months. The man accused of killing his wife and hiding finding her body inside a freezer, is in police custody tonight. In Newport News, police arrested 2 city employees in 2 unrelated sex crime cases. A former police officer is facing a felony rape charge, and a firefighter is facing multiple charges for child pornography. Breaking news in Newport News, police are investigating after a person was found dead this afternoon in Lake Maury behind Riverside Regional Medical Center. A former Newport News firefighter has pleaded guilty to sexually abusing an infant and posting videos of the crime online. Police seized drugs, guns, and hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash from a home in a Virginia Beach neighborhood. Tonight, one man is behind bars in connection with this operation. Authorities say it all started when officers found that man asleep in a running car. Tonight, we're hearing from the 5th man arrested after a shooting at the Virginia Beach oceanfront on March 7th. The incident left 6 people seriously hurt. 19-year-old Bayshawn Williams is behind bars. New tonight, an audit of the Suffolk, Maine post office reveals what some are calling a crisis. The issues include thousands of pieces of delayed mail and packages. It's a story 13 News Now has been following, and now Congresswoman Jen Kiggins is weighing in. A local mosque says 16-year-old Mora Barakzai has died. In a joint statement released tonight, the Peninsula Islamic Community Center and the Barakzai family say in part, quote, "With deep sorrow, we announce the passing of our beloved young community member." All right, we are back with more on Give Local 757. Our goal is to raise as much money as possible to benefit more than 260 local nonprofit organizations. And joining us now to talk about how your donations can help, we've got Kim Lauver and Sabrina Skloot with Sail Beyond Cancer. Thank you both so much for being here today.
Thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely.
We're excited to be here.
Let's talk about Sail Beyond Cancer. What is it for people who may not know? New video obtained by CNN shows the damage left behind after a fire on board USS Gerald R. Ford. After a mass shooting at the Virginia Beach oceanfront, City Council is considering a 9 p.m. curfew for everyone, no matter your age. The Texas summer camp where 28 people died in last year's devastating 4th of July floods has now filed for bankruptcy.